Hey guys.
There it is.
Yeah, Eric and Tom, 4 Up Gaming. Yeah, right there. Huh? We're back with another 2,300 point battle report. Yes, we did get the big red book. We got that pretty quick, actually. You just got it today.
So I have no idea what's in there. We're not going to use that.
Well, it's like I was telling you. I haven't seen anything that a whole lot, at least with my armies, that have changed with it. I just like the fact that it's all in one book.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's nice because I took out, when I was coming over here today, I put my red book in there and I took out all the other books.
The stack.
And yeah, it was the stack, it was the big green book and then it was the 2 other supplements and just everything. And I'm like, wow, this is ridiculous. So it is nice that it's all in one place.
Yeah.
I do super, super like that.
Oh yeah. And my green book has seen better days.
That's probably the...
It's been traveled around the United States. It's seen better days.
It's probably the only thing, my only knock so far, and maybe we'll do a top 5 video here soon about top 5 things we like about the new book, top 5 things we don't like, whatever. The biggest thing I don't like about it is that it is a soft cover.
Yeah.
I would have really liked a hardcover. It just seems to me like hardcover books stand up better.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now, what this does tell me, and this is a rumor, it's not even a rumor, I'm literally just saying it, so it's my own conjecture. So it's not that I have some super secret phone with Ronnie or anything like that. Yeah, this is just my own thinking. I don't think we're going to be in 3rd edition that much longer. Like, I think we probably have maybe another 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I think we're probably going to transition. I don't mind. I don't mind staying in 3rd edition for a while. Yeah. If we don't need it, then don't update it. That's how I look at it. We're just so used to GW where...
It's every year.
Yeah. And sometimes it wasn't needed, sometimes it was.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was so badly needed that the game was almost unplayable that you had to do it. But I think when you do the rules the right way, you really don't have to, you shouldn't have to do them quite as frequently, right?
Yeah.
So that is nice that, we have this new book. I wonder, the fact that it's not a hardback, I wonder if that tells us.
Probably saved a couple bucks.
Oh, I'm sure it did. And but it was still like $50.
$50 for some paper.
So, which brings me to my next point. Checked out the Mantic compendium thing online. I would have liked if it was actually an app, though. They said it was going to be an app, so I was thinking you download it from the App Store, rather than just having the link on your phone to the internet. I get it. Easy Army was like that, where it was a link on your phone to the internet. What's that?
Wonder how come they're not making an app? It'd make more sense.
It would make more sense if it was like a dedicated app.
Where you just click on the app and you're like, bam, there you are.
And there it is.
Yeah.
There was a Kings of War app, and comment down below if you guys remember the Kings of War app. There actually was a Kings of War app, and it had, I think it was 2nd edition, and it had just like the basic, actually it might have even been first. It was either 1st or 2nd. No, because 1st was just the paper, if I remember right. It might have been 2nd edition, but it was cool. It had like a chess clock format already built into it.
Okay.
It had some very basic rules. I don't think that it really. I'm trying to remember now because it's been a while since I've looked at it, but a very basic app. Huh. So it's out there. It's been done before. It would just be nice if they would actually take that. And Mantic could even make it their own Mantic app, because I know they don't want to do Kings of War.
App Store or something, some kind of royalty or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
But how much support? I just think it would be easier to support it as an app. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a tech guy, so I don't know this, but that would be kind of cool though if it was an app.
Yeah, heck yeah. Everything's apps now.
Yeah, right.
Everybody has an app. I have 50 of them on my phone for everything.
I almost need apps to govern my apps.
Right.
It's pretty cool though. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out. It's the link is on the website itself, and it seems pretty cool. I've been tinkering around with it a little bit. If you enter the code, I can't remember what the code is. You'll have to, if you're not part of the newsletter, you'd have to find the code somewhere. Sorry. There is a code for 3 months free or a couple months free up until January 31st or something like that. I'm probably screwing all that up. So if there's anybody from Mantic that is ever watching our videos and sees this, correct us. It's fine.
Yeah.
But it seems all right. It's not as... In some ways, it's more user-friendly than Easy Army. And in other ways, it's probably just because I'm used to Easy Army.
Right.
Because when I first started using Easy Army, it was a pain in the butt. So it's probably just because I'm used to it. But I do kind of like the features that it has. The Math Hammer... The Math Hammer thing is cool. It's really cool if you're into the Math Hammer thing. The problem with Math Hammer, at least in my opinion, is that it doesn't take into account a unit when it's not attacking. So, for example, like the Math Hammer will say, okay, a horde of Revenants is going to be as good as a horde of something else, right? Based off of hits on 4s, if you're hitting a unit that has on 4s or whatever. And so it breaks it all down Math Hammer-wise. Well, that's great if that's the intent of that unit. The intent of the unit is damage output, then that's cool. But for like a horde of Revenants where I put, you know, undead rats and dogs and...
You want them to be sticky.
Right. I don't care about their damage output. I care about them sticking. And so I guess that's where Math Hammer, to me, it's not as
just like a
pivotal.
Yeah, it's just a tool to use. It's not really life-changing because, I mean, dice are still fickle.
Oh, yeah. As I'm sure you guys are aware, dice will do whatever they want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
But in theory, it should roll this number. But, I mean, you can't do that.
Right. In theory.
In theory.
Probability is probability, but... It doesn't feel that way when you're rolling the dice.
There's a reason the casinos in Vegas are so big.
Right? It's the reason why they make all this money.
Yeah.
So, it's a cool app, though. You probably check it out.
Yeah,
check it out. What's that?
It's not an app.
No, I'm sorry. The website.
The website.
You should check out the website. It is cool, too. If you pay for a certain subscription level, once they're done with the whole free thing, you actually get the ability to do, it's not just Kings of War, and not just Kings of War and Ambush, but it's also, you get to do the Dead Zone and then also Firefight. So
nice.
if you're a person that plays all those other games, they have different subscription levels too. So like you don't have to get those if you don't want them.
Yeah.
If you want to do just Kings of War, you can do just Kings of War. It's pretty cool.
Check it out. Yeah, it sounds cool.
The other thing that I'm sure you guys, hopefully if anybody has the Big Red Book and you guys have had a chance to look at it, my favorite thing right now, one of my favorite things right now is Ambush, the inclusion of Ambush. I thought that's what Vanguard was going to be when it came out, right? It was going to be a smaller, entry-level way to play the game, or just a way to play the game quick if you just wanted to throw down for, you had an hour and a half to kill, and you just want to do something super quick. You could throw down a little game and have like 4 or 5 units, not a big deal, whatever. Vanguard was not like that at all. The game mechanic was completely different. Whereas Ambush, if you're just trying to work on like a certain, you know, technique or a certain, maybe even just a scenario, you want to work on a scenario, but you don't want to get 10 units out, you know, for each side and all this kind of crap. If you're wanting to play just a quick game where you're just trying to figure out a game mechanic of some type, like surge, heal, you know, something where you're like, okay, I've got my caster and I have a couple of, but how do we keep it fair and blah, blah, blah. That's definitely the way to do it. I think, like I was telling you earlier, what I like about Ambush is that it keeps all the rules the same. So you're not having to relearn rules, you're not having to relearn movement, you're not doing anything different other than they have certain limitations just to keep it from being broken.
I like the idea of it because I have like, normally on a 2,300 point battle, I have like 3 battle groups. So I have like a left flank, a right flank, and a center and stuff like that. So I could just take like my center group and just play that. And I can actually figure out how it works by itself and see how synergizes together and stuff. So.
Right. And in theory, if you take your 3 battle groups and each time you play just a battle group, you're focusing on that one battle group. And so you're gonna in theory at least, if you work on that battle group, when you play them all together, you should know the ins and outs of each one. And in theory, it should make it go a little bit smoother. So exactly. That's kind of how I was thinking of it too. It's also good too if you want to try something out. If there's an army that you want to try out, but you don't want to buy all 2,300 points, or you don't really. What's cool is you can do that. You can go like it's pretty much you go buy like a mega army, and for the most part, the mega army is around 600, depending on war gear and all that kind of stuff. About 600 or 700 points. So that's just kind of cool. As you go buy a box, and I understand their concept. That's why they're doing it. Smart, Mantic, very smart. But I think the Big Red Book, if you guys have not bought it yet, I would suggest buying it. Even if you guys are on the Mantic website, the compendium, whatever the hell they call it, companion. I don't even know what the hell. You know what I'm talking about,
isn't it?
I have no idea. It probably is companion. It sounds better.
Companion.
So even if you're just thinking, I'll just spend a couple extra bucks a month and just do the companion, I still like, and maybe it's because I'm old school. I like having the book too. The book's nice.
Pen and paper. I'm old school, man. When I write my list, it's pen and paper. I'm sitting there with a book.
No joke, guys. The first couple of tournaments, not so much Kings of War, but the first couple of 40K tournaments that we did, Tom would actually sit down and he would write out like 5 copies of his army list.
Oh yeah.
So that way, like, it was literally handwritten. He would just sit down and just write out 5 copies, and it's fun. I mean, it's just funny because like it's old school, but that's sometimes you can't beat old school, you know.
I sit down there with a pen and paper. Oh, that unit's not going to work in here. This one, cross this one out. It's like a whole cheat sheet of stuff.
Yeah.
Going
well, and then
a list.
What's nice about doing it that way is you get to write it the way you like to see it. So if you write something, because having to switch over formats, you know, now I'm having to switch over to this new companion format. It's a little different than Easy Army.
Yeah.
And I'm literally complaining, right? I mean, it's stupid. It's fine. I'll get used to it. It's not a big deal. But what's nice about writing it is you know how you see stuff. Like when I used to write my Kings of War list, I used to write them as we would Warhammer lists, just so I could understand how they all worked.
It's like my battle groups. I'm doing this group and this group, and it's just how it is. It's how I write my list.
Yeah.
Always have. Probably always will. Old school. Pen and paper.
One of the nice things about the companion, though, too, is that you can. It has a link to where you can actually buy. Like, so if you wanted to look at an item or you wanted to buy a certain unit, you hit the buy thing and it redirects you if they have it available.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. I mean, that's cool if you're trying to build the army and you're like, oh man, I need this one. Do they have it? And you hit the button and it'll take you to the link. As they fill out their armies more, I think that'll be even better.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then I also like the fact that if you add like a battle group, like for example, I'm playing the Undead today and I have the Shambling Blight, right? If I wanted to, with Easy Army, if I wanted to put the Shambling Blight in and then see how other units matched up, and then if I wanted to take the Shambling Blight out, it wouldn't let me. So I'd have to start all over again.
Yeah.
What's cool about the companion is you can do that. You can take stuff out, put stuff back in, and it doesn't give you like error codes or anything, make you restart. So yeah, it looks like it's pretty cool. But like I said, get the Big Red Book if you guys haven't gotten it yet. I have a feeling, like I was saying earlier, I have a feeling that we only have a couple years left in 3rd edition, but
it's better than carrying
a
stack
it's
of books
way
around.
better.
Way better here.
Yeah, I still think it'll get you through those next couple of years pretty well.
Yeah.
And I also think with the companion, I don't know if we're going to be seeing Clash of Kings releases, because if they're using the companion and they're just pushing stuff out there, maybe they don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying. But anyway, now that we've kind of sort of caught up to where we are now. I mean, the last time we did a battle report was before the Big Red Book, it was before all this stuff, so it's nice to be able to talk about it, let you guys know what our opinions are.
I just got it today, so I don't really have a lot of opinions on it yet. So, sorry.
I would have really liked it to be hardback, but I get it.
I'm just glad everything's in one book.
Yeah, it's
That's
going to be
my favorite thing right now.
When you go through it, it's so nice, because when you go through it and you're reading it, you're probably like me, where you read it and you're like, oh, that's cool. Hold on. You check this one. Okay, it's still there. Let me check this one.
Yeah, that was a pain.
Instead, it's all right there. You just flip through it and you're like, ooh, that's got to be it.
Yeah.
So that's definitely nice. We are going to get on with our game here. 2,300 points. You are going to be playing
Northern Alliance.
Northern Alliance.
Northern Alliance.
This is the debut.
The debut of the Northern
Alliance on the channel.
Yep.
That is going to be absolutely awesome.
Lord of the Rings, Northern Alliance.
Lord of the Rings models.
Yep.
Oh, that's going to be so cool.
Yeah, should be good.
And I'm going to play the Undead, and we're going to Northern. I'm trying to think. I might play them a couple times at tournaments and stuff, but that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
this is going to be fun.
Another one for the channel.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Hopefully you guys like it.
Yeah. You guys are seeing the setup right now.
Yeah, comment on it.
We'll go over the scenario. We'll go over deployment and all that kind of stuff and get going. Okay. We have the debut of the Northern Alliance here. So
Lord of the Rings, Northern Alliance.
That's awesome. So Tom, tell me what you got.
Got 2 regiments of pack hunters with a javelin upgrade.
Okay. And the other one's kind of behind that tree there. There we go.
We got a Thane on Frostfang. We got 2 cavern dwellers. We got 3 regiments of Huskarls.
Huskarls?
Yeah, a Thane with loot.
Nice.
We got a half-elf berserker squad, or regiment, and 2 Frostfang regiments, and a Thane on Frostfang.
That is awesome. I don't think that my camera is really doing justice for this, because these units look awesome. So this is almost a complete Lord of the Rings army.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, as much as I hate GW, Man, they got
It's
some.
cool.
Obviously,
Lord
these
of the
are
Rings
some.
stuff.
Yeah, dude.
We're all
Look.
fantasy players. We love Lord of the Rings.
They look cool, man. I mean, they really look cool. They're nice and they're sleek looking, if that makes sense. But they still have like an old world kind of look to them. Especially this unit of Huskarls right here. This kind of reminds me of some of their older sculpts.
Yeah.
And I don't know how old a lot of the Lord of the Rings stuff is,
Super old.
but it's
I like
the half.
It reminds me of like Helm's Gate when they all have their swords up and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, they look cool, man. They look super cool. So that is your 2,300 point Northern Alliance. First crack at the Northern Alliance.
We'll see how it goes.
First of probably many.
Yeah.
But you got your shooting on one flank, coupled with your monster, which can either be their monsters, especially cavern dwellers. They got speed, if I remember right.
They're quick.
They got some punch. Yep, they can hold.
They're pretty solid.
Got everything you need, so you can keep people away,
Yeah.
which is nice. You got your punch.
That's
Pretty much in this whole side of the board,
It's nasty.
it's all defense 5 punch.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's the strength of the Northern Alliance, right? Is the Huskarls and then the Frostfangs, and I super like it.
Yeah.
I really do. I like that you broke the 2 units of Frostfangs up. Like I like that you had it, because it gives
It's
you.
too unwieldy to have that big old tray, man.
Yeah, you talking about flanks and stuff, man. Whew, leaving stuff open.
Unwieldy.
Yeah, I like it like that. All right, we will go on to the undead. So, for the undead, we have a horde of spearmen, which are not going to do anything over here. We have a horde of ghouls with Mead of Madness behind them. Next to them, we have another horde of ghouls with a ghoul ghast behind them. Up front here, we have 2 hordes of skeletons. Just regular skeletons, nothing fancy. And then, like I said earlier, I took the Shambling Blight formation, as you guys can see right there. I've got 2 legions of zombies and then a Goreblight in the middle. And behind the Goreblight, I have a Necromancer that has been given the Aura Vicious melee upgrade for zombies, as well as Inspiring Talisman and Surge and Bane Chant and all that stuff. So that's a way to take a 50-point Necro and make him expensive.
Heck yeah.
Then I have a horde of whites. Yes, I brought the whites back. And then I have my horde of revenants. I stripped them of their Life Leech 3 nonsense. And then I think this is a debut as well. Is my Soul Reaver infantry troop right there next to a BSB. So we both, obviously you have a whole army that is brand new, whereas mine is just a unit. But yeah, I same thing as you. I really designed this army the way that you do it, where you do it in battle groups.
Yeah.
So the first battle group that I have is right in the center. I have the Shambling Blight, and then I have I have Inspiring, little bit of punch with the Goreblight. He's got some punch, but that's mostly just a grindy. That's what they do, right? Coupled with the fact that the zombies for the Shambling Blight have Iron Resolve, and they also have Phalanx, on top of being Fearless 28.
Right.
That'll definitely help. And then I have 2 hordes of skeletons there, which, again, Horde chaff. It's horde chaff, exactly. On the one side, I have my ghouls. I like those 2 hordes of ghouls. They seem to perform pretty well when I use them. They remind me of your Rakin shock troops, except that I don't have the ensnare stuff for a turn. And then over on this flank,
Aren't they defense 3?
they're defense 3. Yes, they're defense 3. And then over here on my flank, it was, I'm going to put defense 5 as like an anchor, like an anvil, and then I'm going to have my 2 punchy units over there because you totally stacked this side with all kinds of punchiness. So I couldn't just let you put, what do you have over here? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I mean, I guess technically these guys are more in the middle, but you still have, you could pull, I think the Huskarls are speed 5. You could pull one of these off. And so now you still got 5 units to if I'd only put 2 over here, that would not have been good. So you kind of forced my hand with deploying over here. Where I see it being interesting is going to be in the middle, because I did put a lot in the middle. However, your stuff that's in the middle, you can do either or, right? You can go one way or the other. You don't have to devote to the middle. So that's good for you. It gives you a little bit more unit flexibility. If you have to, you can pull people that way instead of just going straight. And then you can pull part of your battle line straight to deal with my stuff there in the middle. So, yeah. That's
better myself.
Yeah. So I like what you did. Looks good. As far as terrain goes, we have some dangerous with an obstacle right in front of it, which is kind of...
Epic Dwarf.
Yeah. Thank you, Epic Dwarf. That was... Or, yeah, whatever it is now. Yeah, that's kind of weird. We have a height... What do we call it? Height 2?
Height 2.
Height...
Yeah, height 2 is fine.
Height 2? Okay. Height 2 hill. I was going to say I don't have any shooting, so it doesn't really matter. We have a impassable. We have a forest right there in the middle. Good old Epic Dwarf putting forest right in the middle. You have a forest on your flank coupled by some impassable. I have a height 2 hill over there. And then I also have an obstacle right in front, kind of in the middle of my battle line there in the middle of the board. The scenario is plunder.
Yeah.
Plunder reminds me of... We haven't.
Seems like a newer one.
No, it is one of the newer ones, yeah.
Read the rules again. I'm like, man,
This one almost reminds me of Push a little bit, right? Except instead of 3, you got 5.
Yeah.
And then you can nominate which ones you want to have. Like I get to nominate one that's a 2-pointer. You get to nominate one that's a 2-pointer.
Almost.
It is. It's similar to loot. That's how I kind of categorize it in my mind.
Their objectives, which is kind of cool. Center line.
I think these are loot counters, actually.
Really?
I think they're loot counters. That's a good thing. Yeah, I was going to say, I would check. Now, again, with loot counters, guys, so we'll go over plunder real quick while Tom's checking that out. So we have 5. Either they are loot counters or objectives, and they have to be on the center line of the board.
Oh, they are loot counters.
Are they loot counters? Okay. And then what happens is once they're all deployed, we roll off to see who wants to make... who gets to choose their loot counter to make it worth 2 victory points instead of 1. So I chose the one here in the center. That's going to be worth 2 points. And Tom chose the one to his, not the furthest flank, but kind of on the other side of the forest to make that worth 2 points as well. I guess what I like about this one is that, yeah, you got 2 points here. You got 2 points. That's 4 points. You could literally hold those 2 and negate the other 3. Yeah. But if you don't, if you only hold 1...
Yeah.
Then that makes this game a lot more interesting.
Really good one. I actually like this one.
Yeah, plunder's not bad. Now keep in mind with the loot counters, guys, if somebody grabs a loot counter, that does negate their speed to speed 5. Yep. If they have flying, which I don't think any of us has flying, it does also get rid of flying. Yeah, so you're only speed 5. Individuals cannot hold loot counters. Gotta have unit strength, exactly. And that's a big one, which might be a little bit difficult if it gets down towards the end, just because I have a lot of unit strength, and you don't have quite as much. But you have more punch than I do.
Yeah.
So I think...
Unit strength.
Well, right.
It's,
with your army, it's not.
I was going to say, it's, if it was objectives, I'd be in trouble.
Right. Yes.
Unit strength,
Yeah, absolutely right.
Keep it.
Yep, you can grab it, hang on to it. Now, you are going to be inherently faster than me. You've got Frostfang Cav, and then you also have your Cavern Dwellers. So the ability for you to get out and grab stuff is going to be huge, because I can't do that. Oh, yeah. I can't. I'm a lot slower. I have a couple of fast units, but for the most part, I'm a lot slower. So I want you to grind with me, because yeah. Well, I guess I just looked at it like it's really not going to make too much of a difference. But yeah, I want you to grind with me, and that's kind of where I want it to be, where I want the game to be. So we'll have to see what happens with this, and we're going to go into turn 1. Tom, you have, I deferred to you, so you have top of turn. You moved your pack hunters up into the forest further. I think they're already in the forest, right?
In the forest a little bit. Yeah, they moved them up a little bit.
Okay. And those pack hunters have been upgraded with javelins, so if you guys are wondering his range there, that's what it is. Your Thien on Frostfang, you kept him right there as kind of a little added protection, I'm guessing.
A little inspiring.
Yeah. Got the Cavern Dwellers that you moved up a little more aggressively, just because that's what they're there for. You broke off one of the Huskarls to go with them, just kind of bolster the middle of the line there. Totally understand. You have another 2 units of Huskarls that are up on top of the hill. Probably trying to hope to maybe get a little Thunder 1 off the hill,
I
or
mean, they already crushed 2, so they're probably pretty good.
they're probably
Just
good.
moving up, trying to figure out where you're coming at.
Yeah, for sure. And then we have two Frostfang regiments. You move them up. You moved your little Thien on Frostfang. That's also a Thien on Frostfang, right? Moved him up on the flank there just to keep me honest, right? If you hadn't moved him, then I wouldn't have done what I did. So what I did is I sidestepped my infantry of Soul Reavers along with my horde of Revenants. And I already know what game I'm going to play on the middle here. So I picked a side. I just said, you know what? As of right now, the biggest threat to what is going on to me is kind of the Frostfangs, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to push more of this stuff towards this side that has more stuff, right? And I don't want you to focus more on this side. So with that being said, that's why I ended up moving my I want to call them the Blight. So I don't know why. I guess Barrow Whites, maybe the B from the Barrow Whites. But anyway, I moved my whites up, pivot him this way. So really making it very interesting if anything comes into this area here. And then across the rest of my battle line, I moved everything up. Everything's shambling practically except for my ghouls. I am playing the range game, keeping my ghouls out of range from your dudes up there on the hill, your pack hunters. Even though they're only 12-inch range, if you move 5, you got 17. Yeah. So, and they are hitting on 4s with piercing 1, which isn't a big deal except when you have 2 units of them, and my dudes are only defense 3. So I kind of would like to keep them around a little bit. That's why I'm kind of hanging them back. Plus, I charging anything off the hill is kind of cool. It's kind of fun. It's kind of whatever. I feel, and again, I could be totally wrong on this, but I feel I have the advantage of being able to play the range game a little bit right now because I have hordes against regiments.
Yeah.
So I'm able to, even if you do
switch.
Yeah, right. It's switch because normally, yeah, exactly. So I'm going to watch how you play this so I can see how to play you. Yeah, this is definitely a switch here. So right now, and then I positioned my ghouls over here and moved up this battle line slowly but surely. And started to position my ghouls because I have a feeling that I'll probably have to get my ghouls over this way if at all possible. And then this middle line here is just tar pit central.
Oh, yeah,
That's all. It's just straight tar pit.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. You're obviously going to move, try and capture objectives. However, though, if you move at this point to capture a loot counter...
Oh, yeah, you'll jump on me.
Right. And so it kind of makes it interesting because it's like, all right, do we... It's weird, right? How are we going to... Or I shouldn't say we, but how are you going to play this? And I want to see it because I play regiments a lot, and I want to see how you would deal with regiments while I'm playing with hordes. So... I think we've gone on long enough for a turn that literally had no death, no nothing. But guys, these first couple of turns are very important. If you're a guy that just deploys and then just goes and you're trying to like almost get through to like the turn 3, you're missing out on so much of the game. So a lot of the game is this initial deployment, and it's the Mexican standoff phase. It's very important, and this is what can either make or break a game later on. And Tom is a good player. If I make one mistake,
I'll jump on it.
You're gonna, and then and that could cost either one of us the game at this point, even though we're only in turn 1.
Yeah.
So.
Little moves.
Just little moves, right? Little moves. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go on to turn 2. Guys, we just had a role reversal, and Tom goes, wow, now I know how you feel. Because I have a lot of stuff coming at him, and this is normally his game. Normally he plays a lot of hordes and just marches down your throat. And we kind of switched a little bit here, so... turn 2, very exciting turn 2.
Yeah.
Riveting.
Interesting here.
Again, mostly, guys, it's the little moves that are really counting right now. Tom moved up his Frostfangs, kind of positioned them in this half moon shape around the area here. Interesting because you can get one unit with one unit with the other.
Is what it comes down
But do you want to divide your hammer like that? Or do you want to try? Now, me personally, they're only hitting on 4s.
I know.
That's what's changing that whole thing right there. If they hit on 3s, I'd be like, you're probably good by themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Hitting on 4s, though?
Hell yeah.
Ooh, I don't know how well they're going to be able to grind. So, moving over here, you are definitely utilizing the hill well. Trying to keep at least a unit on the hill, which is the half-elf berserkers. You got those Huskarls there in this half-moon circle. You can pick whatever you want to pick. If you want to do a trip charge, if you want to try and maybe get a flank here. There's a lot of stuff that can happen here. And that's what's going to be interesting, is like once the dominoes start falling, how are they going to fall? The other interesting thing is I'm moving my ghouls up, which is really my only hammer on this side of the board. I'm moving them up. I know they're going to get shot. I know they could get charged. But unfortunately, it comes down to a point to where you have 2 hordes. They're both worth 180 points. I got to do something with them, right?
Yeah.
I got to put some pressure on something. If you don't kill them, then I can get to your archers, or I can get to your cavern dwellers, or whatever. There's so much stuff over here too, and I'm coming in waves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's stacks of stuff.
Yep, stacks on stacks. So trying to come in waves, trying to keep that going. This move is interesting because I have to keep him honest on this side of the board. If this unit wasn't here, you'd have free reign to do whatever you wanted.
Ran up and flanky flank.
Oh yeah, it'd been bad, right? It'd been bad.
Yeah.
So they're keeping you honest there. And I think I'm still you can't. I don't think you can see me on that side there, which is good. At least I'm pretty sure you can't see me. I hope not. Ooh, can you see me?
I was thinking I could.
Can you?
I was thinking.
Oh boy.
I was like, I'm gonna catch a rear.
But do you have the range though? That's the only thing. Do you have the range? So you'd have to You'd have to come out first, right? You'd have to come this way, and then pivot. I don't think you have the range, at least not right now. You're gonna have to pivot around the building because the building keeps you from just going straight at it. So you'd have to come straight. 8 probably, right, to clear the building?
Probably.
So you'd have to come straight 8 to clear the building. And then that would leave you
3 inches.
3 inches. Yeah, it looks like you'd have it. Well, shit. Well, if that's the case, I might need to change some things then. Because I didn't see that. I didn't think you had that.
I was like, I'm going to take that one.
Yeah, I didn't think you had it there. All right, well, let me adjust something real quick. All I'm really going to do is just change, if you don't mind.
No, you're good.
Okay. Right there.
I said you're in a pickle. I was like,
Yeah.
tricky one.
Do I want to give a rear charge to Huskarls? Or do I want to give a... Because if I pivot them, well, then it's not going to be a flank. Or, I'm sorry, not a rear. But then you'd be able to get a front and a front. 14 and 15. Or, I'm sorry, 14. 20. Oof, that's rough. That one's rough. This is the problem with playing this kind of game, like we were just talking about.
You ended up seeing it at the end. I was like, he's not going to see it. I think I got that one.
Yeah. Let's see here.
And you're catching the recap. Damn it.
If I pivot like this... Actually, I'm going to pivot like that. Because I'm going to pull a... what's his name?
Nonsense right there.
Yeah, because then you can't charge me. You're in my arcs on both.
Yeah.
There we go. So what I just did, apart from saving my ass, is keeping Tom in my front arc. My front arc is currently blocked with the building, so he cannot charge my front arc then, pretty much. So even though it looks like he's in the flank, where is my...
Oh, it's front.
What's that?
It's definitely front.
Yeah. So that keeps him out of both, so he can't effectively charge my unit of whites. So good thing I looked at that one. That's a little scary. Okay, we're going to go on to turn 3. Turn 2, yeah, you guys can see nobody's dead at all. Thank God we don't get victory points for deaths each turn, right? Let's go into turn 3. All right, end of 3. And we finally got to combat, and it's been bloody, bloody, bloody. Tom drew first blood by shooting. No. You flanked.
Over here.
Yeah, you flanked, and frontal charged a skeleton warrior horde. Took him off the board pretty easily. So that was pretty epic. And let's see what else you did. You wavered by shooting. You wavered my ghoul horde, which
nice.
then bottlenecked everything else up on this side, which sucks. So now I got to take another couple rounds of shooting, which is not going to be good for me. What else? Let's see. I grabbed that objective. You grabbed the objective over here. I surge flanked you and totally wiped him off the board. and then on the second round, rolled a double 1. I mean. They're maxed wounds. They're way beyond what they should have had. And so that was a failure. But then over here...
Made up for it.
Made up for it. Because I was not expecting very much from my Revenants because they never do anything.
Good. 9.
Dude.
Yeah. 8 wounds and then rolled a 10 or something.
Yeah, they were dead. That's sad.
That was a good one.
But that helps me out a lot on this side of the board. I had a feeling like pulling... was gonna come if they didn't do that, which I didn't think they would. I felt like that was probably gonna bite me in the butt, pulling this unit over, having a 3-2 differential, and so I was getting worried. You still have 2 follow-up units though. You're still gonna come in. You're gonna hit hard, and I'm at 7 wounds. So depending on how they do, you could very well take them off this next turn. Yeah. So things are starting to hit. Things are starting to bottleneck. You guys do see here that he can charge and hit my dude here if he really wants to, or he can flank my zombies there and just nom through stuff. Who knows what's going to happen? I guess we're going to find out, huh?
Right.
We'll go into turn 4. Oh, okay, bottom of 4. And... I was able to take out, well, you took out some skeleton warriors.
Skeleton warriors, yeah.
You took out my whites. You know, my whites are so finicky, man. Freaking insane courage. And then they get double charged.
Berserkers did work, man.
Yeah, they're nasty.
Little wing camp, little
This dead.
Yeah.
It was nasty. So they are now gone. Let's see. My Goreblight did some work with this stupid little wound bullshit thing, which is actually awesome.
He's actually planking away.
There's a lot of wounds on the table.
Yeah. He's right in the middle of it, too.
He's just
1,
dead.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
And it's 1 wound, but it's 5 units at one time, every turn.
It matters. You were off by 1 against my zombies because of rallying with the Goreblight. Yeah, it was amazing. My zombies back into your Huskarls did not do anything, or did I do... Oh, they already had 2 wounds, right?
Yeah,
from him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From him.
Yeah, so he's doing more wounds.
6s, and then they failed on the 4.
Right. Archers over here that had the objective, or that had the loot counter are dead because my ghouls killed them. Let's see. Yeah, totally whiffed here with my zombies. Totally whiffed here with my zombies. Well, I can't really say whiffed. I mean, they're only 5s to hit, but still. And then my Goreblight, I was off. I would have liked to have been able to waver them at least one time again.
Close.
So that's rough. What else? You picked up these 2 objectives over here.
Yep.
So that's good. Yeah. Other than that, I can't really think of too much more that's going on.
No, that was about it.
So we're going to jump to turn 5 and see what happens. All right, guys, end of turn 5, and let me do this real quick, sorry. I cannot take stuff off the board. I have a shit ton. Well, it's just my dice rolling, man. This unit is maxed out. They're actually over maxed. All I need to do is sneeze.
Wrecking shit.
Yeah, all I need to do is sneeze on them, and they'd be dead. This unit has 9 wounds. This unit has 8 wounds. Yeah, everybody has wounds almost on this table, except for this dude keeps healing his shit back. They don't have wounds. So, yeah.
Yeah.
This is frustrating because they're regiments, and I can't take them off the board. This, like I said, this unit literally, I need to sneeze on them and they'll die.
That's it. You just need
This
one
unit, 9 wounds. All I need to do is a couple more wounds on them, and they're dead. So it's so frustrating right now, guys. I cannot take off regiments, and they're just regiments. That's all they are. I did, however, take off your inspiring over here, which was good.
Yeah.
I took out your archers over there. That was a moral victory. That's all that was. Because they were shooting the shit out of me.
They were doing work.
Life leech. Sorry.
Yeah, those little guys are doing work.
Yeah, so it's just, oh my God. At this point, it's about moral victories. At this point, you have 2, 3, 4. You have 4, and I only have 3. So I have to find some way to either kill them, which I don't know how that's going to happen, or I have to find some way to kill some of these other 2 speedy units, and I don't see that happening either. Dude, I thought I had this in the bank. Like, when I flanked you over here with the whites, I was like, I got this.
I got this.
And then insane courage, man.
Just like wrecking shit. It's all half flank with a couple attacks with the flank. I'm like, oh yeah.
Insane courage, man.
All I need is the stick breeze.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's crazy about them. And they're not back to their normal attacks yet. They can only do that.
They're still not back to their normal.
Yeah, they're what are they called? Not disordered, but what is it?
Isn't this?
I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, they're screwed up. They're screwed up pretty bad.
They've only half attacks, but they're doing work.
They're doing work, and it's so frustrating because I can't take them off the board because of this that insane courage roll is still hurting me because this unit should be dead. That unit, at least I should have been able to grind with that unit.
That unit would have wrecked you.
You know, well, but I'm just saying though, 20 attacks as opposed to 30 attacks hitting on 3s. I mean, 30 attacks hitting on 3s with crushing 2 is nasty. 20 attacks is a lot better than 30, right? I mean, let's be honest here. And you still only got them right to, I think you got with dice, I think you got them right to, you get it pretty nasty, but you take away 10 of those attacks, it's going to change the number, right? Anyway, frustrating, very frustrating for me. I mean, your stuff just ain't dying, man. That's good. That's how you want it if you're going to run regiments, right? You can't, running Defense 5 regiments is the way to do it for sure. All right, we're going to go into turn 6 here and finish this bad boy up, unless it goes to turn 7 somehow. Yeah. All right, so that went to turn 7.
Yeah, it did.
And in case you guys are wondering how to beat an army full of hordes with an army full of regiments, insane courage and just don't die.
Just don't die.
I mean,
Hold lots of wounds and don't die. Do work.
It was crazy. He had 3 or 4 regiments that had 8 or more wounds on them, and they just wouldn't die. Would not die.
Those girls were just
Oh my
ruckus.
gosh. That one got a little crazy towards the end. Not like crazy like nail biting, but crazy just like, oh my God, seriously. I couldn't save any, or I couldn't kill anything, man, to save my life.
You only killed the 2 archers and then the
Frostfangs. Well, no, I finally killed the Huskarls too. With my mage.
The mage at the end.
At the end, turn 7, it was a moral victory for me. I finally took out his 1 unit of Huskarls that had been running around the board with like 20, with like 20 some wounds.
We just call it max.
It was maxed out. It was bad. It had a shit ton of wounds on it. That was the unit that I had flanked with my whites, like turn 3.
Turn 3, I believe. Yeah.
And I had hit them, and insane courage.
Yeah.
And then you came back in, you were able to pivot, and then you were able to multi-charge, wiped out the whites, and it was just downhill from there for me. Then they just ran around, just kept killing stuff, and I'm like, oh my god.
They're getting flanks. They end up wavering the...
With half attacks.
Wavering
half.
What are they?
Soul Reavers.
Soul Reaver infantry. Wavered them at the end because he's like, I'm going to kill that unit. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to charge back in. And with 10 attacks, wavered him.
Yeah.
And then he came in back.
Luckily, though, my Necro, with one attack, I finally did it. He was feeling the anger from the rest of the army. He's like, no, you're dead. You are dead. We might lose the game, but you're dead. That's what we call a moral victory.
Yeah,
my Necro came over and he stabbed the staff in the one dude's neck and was like, you're all dead. And they died.
Raising them up. They're going to be Soul Reaver infantry next round.
He is, yes. Yeah, and then he was able to waver. I was like, oh, maybe I might be able to push through some things. And then he wavered my Ghoulgast right in front of my horde of ghouls, and they couldn't do anything. I couldn't charge through my Ghoulgast to do anything, so they just sat there and looked pretty. So that sucked. That's in essence, that's like wavering 2 units. So that sucked. That sucked right there. What else happened? I did finally kill your freaking archers, though. God, those things were annoying.
Archers were doing work, too.
Wow, they were doing some work.
Man.
That was nasty.
They were doing good.
It was super nasty.
Horde and up like 3 hordes for a turn. That was huge. Really slowed them down. Then I ended up killing a horde.
Yeah, you shot a horde off the board. Yeah, you shot a horde off the board. That was nasty too.
With 1 round and a half round.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
You shot a whole horde off the board. That was crazy.
Yeah, with javelins.
The half-elf berserkers
are nasty.
I could have sworn that they used to be 4s to hit.
No, they're 3s.
Well, I know they're 3s now.
Yeah, okay.
But I was gonna say, like, when 3rd edition, because I remember looking at them going, yeah, they're not that great.
I built my thing off the
off the old one.
Off the old book. Because I didn't have the new book until you brought it over.
Yeah, they are just
still the old book. But I was like, oh man, 3s, 20 attacks, thunderous, and then you put a little Bane chant on them. Oof. Nasty.
They are nasty.
Huskarls, nasty.
Yeah, Huskarls are definitely nasty.
I see why they don't come in hordes, because that's just too nasty.
Oh, no. That'd be broken.
So nasty.
Yeah, so I'm glad to see a new army. Hopefully you guys are glad to see the new army as well.
Yeah, hopefully you liked it.
Oh, I enjoyed the hell out of it,
yeah.
for sure. I enjoyed playing it. I mean, it's one of those things. It sucks losing, but in the same token.
Different army, different look.
Well,
I never play regiments.
Yeah. No, you don't. And so it was nice to see. Again, it's nice to see you play different things because then we give each other different ideas on how to play things. Yeah. So that's nice. The other nice thing too is that it's just nice to see different things. Yeah. Right? It's nice to play different things so that when we go to tournaments, we know what they look like, we know how they play, we know what the challenges are. So that definitely helps as well. Yeah, it was. I mean, overall, it was a good game. We were laughing and joking right up until the very end when I killed his unit with a Necro.
With a Necro in the back, I was like, oh, I did not think that was going to happen. Needed what?
Dead.
5 and a 5 or a 4 and a 5?
I rolled a 5 and a 6.
5 and a 6. I was like, no chance, man. They're gonna survive.
Dude, it was impressive, man. It was, and their defense 5, mind you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I rolled a 5 and then a 6. So one wound, and then it was anything but ones to roll to take them off. But moral victory for me. Okay. I think I had another moral victory here too, and I can't remember.
You killed those guys.
That's right. I killed the archers. That's right. That was my other moral victory. My spearmen, while it was it was my spearmen. Even though they were charging through difficult, they were hindered. I still killed them. We're talking 30 attacks, hitting on 6s, and I killed them. Yeah.
Hitting on 5s.
No, they're hitting on 6s. I charged them. Yeah. They normally hit on 5s, but I was charging into 4s, so I was hitting on 6s. Because I was charging in 4s.
5s, but that's all right.
Oh. I have no idea. They died. That's all that matters.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
It literally had no bearing on the outcome of the game at all. But it was.
And I was laughing.
It was a moral. It was a moral victory. It was a moral victory. But the Necro sneaking in, stabbing a dude in the face, that was probably the best. I absolutely love that. That was fun. All right. Well, we're gonna. Hopefully get this battle report out soon. We've got a couple of things coming up, right? We're gonna try and do some top 5s here soon.
Oh yeah.
Try and get some more content.
I gotta read it. That's what I'm doing.
Go through it.
Looking at that.
Go through it, and it'll be nice. I'm sure you're going to start thinking about different things with the Northern Alliance, which is good.
Yeah.
Kind of get them going a little bit.
Yeah, that was interesting. I just threw this list together before you came over, so.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Kind of interesting.
It was very interesting. But yeah, anyway, with that, see you guys later.